Hey friends, welcome back to Hot News. It's your Tuesday episode of AMD Mining. Oh boy, this is going to be bad. As well as custom cards. We got pictures of those and the fastest SSD in the world. We're going to talk about that after we talk about today's video sponsor. My friends, today's video is brought to you by Blinkist. Now, you should know by now that I am a lifelong learner. I enjoy learning, but I don't always have the time to do it, which is where Blinkist comes in because they can condense some of the best nonfiction books out there, over 3,000 of them, into just 15-minute reads, making it super easy for me to actually get through books that I otherwise wouldn't have the time for. And you could read or listen to them podcast style. And one of the big types of books that I personally enjoy is entrepreneurship journeys or just ideas of how to expand my business. And usually I know those books are filled with marketing fluff, a tons of extra stuff that you don't need, whereas Blinkist condenses all of that, gets rid of the extra fluff, and then gives it in less than 15 minutes. I can get the same point of the book. In fact, there's two books that I recently completed, Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins and How I Built This by Guy Raz. And reading the Blinkist, I realized that I would have saved a lot more time had I found out about this app sooner. So you can read or listen to them podcast style, and you can be part of the 14 million other people who actually use Blinkist, and they now have full-length audiobooks as well. And the first 100 people who use our link down below, blinkist.com/UFDtech, you'll get your full 7-day free trial with them, plus 25% off the full membership. The unlimited access for 1 week is completely free. You can cancel at any time, but then if you do decide to convert, 25% off if you use the link in the video description, blinkist.com/UFDtech. Big thanks to them for sponsoring today's video. All right, let's talk about the bad news. It looks like AMD's RX 6000 series GPUs are the bee's knees when it comes to mining. Of course they would be. AMD is nothing besides a phenomenal mining company. So we have word coming out that AMD's entry-level big Navi card, the 6800, beats not only the 3080, but the 3090 by 50%. That is what's coming out of somebody who was able to test it, which according to NiceHash's profitability, the 3090 is currently the most profitable card on the market at $3.39 per day, which, let's talk about when I first started doing mining content, my 1080 Ti was netting me like $10 a day. So like time to pay off the card is just out the window at this point. But as we're seeing right here, somebody got their hand on an RX 6800 and 1.5 times the performance of a 3090 at default. That is not even optimizing memory. That's not messing with the BIOS. That's not even tuning the frequency and voltage to make sure you're getting the optimization of everything. So dang, if you thought you were getting an RX 6000 series, think again, because if miners were going hot and heavy for the RTX 30 series, they're going to salivate even more over the RX 6000 series, which, if we listen to companies such as ASUS, they're indicating that they're going to expect that these cards are going to be sold out within minutes. They're going to go faster than the pancakes at a pancake rally. Is that the best I could do? Pancakes at a pancake rally, my friends. But let's take a look at the cards that you're not going to be able to get, because Sapphire released pictures of their Nitro Plus as well as their Pulse. As you can see here, this is honestly, this is a good looking card for me. I really appreciate what Sapphire is doing there. And there's the Pulse, a bit more tame, a bit more what you would expect an AMD GPU to look like. Now let's switch gears to the CPU side of things. It turns out that with the Ryzen 5000 series CPUs, even though AMD indicated that they weren't going to be working on 300 series motherboards, somebody has been able to get that to happen, which of course they would. It's just some BIOS updates. AMD probably not going to allow this to happen officially, but unofficially, it's a possibility that you could do it. But with AMD motherboards, that's the only one that you could actually run PCI Express 4.0 NVMe SSDs on, and Physon's going to make sure that you are running those at the fastest speeds possible, with them introducing their brand new E18 controller, which can run at 7.4 gigabyte per second reads and 7 gigabytes per second write, which is just super fast, slightly faster than the 980 Pros. We're going to see these come into chips that are going to be really good. Hopefully, the Phison E18s might be PS5 approved, because Sony hasn't approved a single M.2 SSD to used as expandable storage. We're still waiting on that to happen. Maybe that will happen here. And what is happening after a long-awaited wait for everybody, a long-awaited wait, of course. What else would it be? A long regretful wait? Yeah, that would be a possibility, I suppose. That's just my life, essentially. Mass Effect Legendary Edition Remaster, it's coming out. On top of that being announced that it's going to be coming out spring 2021 for $60 on all of the consoles you could imagine. NZXT announced that they are coming out with a Mass Effect case, and I just want to talk about this, what to expect from BioWare's new next-gen Mass Effect 4 game. This article from Tweaktown, come here friends, let me tell you what to expect.
Hello there.
Disappointment. Did you not play Andromeda? Speaking of disappointment, Halo 4 is coming to PC November 17th. I'd say Halo just as a franchise with 343 delaying Halo Infinite. Regardless of that, speaking of games that got delayed, Horizon Forbidden West hasn't been delayed as of right now, but we have some indication that's coming out in the second half of 2021, even though we had an ambiguous release date before that. I say, bullcrap, this is coming out 2022. I take the same exact stance on the second, technically fifth God of War game that's going to be coming out from Santa Monica Studios. They're saying it's coming out 2021, which we all know is just a huge lie. See in 2022, which that might be when I could get my PS5, because it turns out they're all sold out in Japan as of right now. Anyways, if you pick one up in Japan, that's going to be fine because they're going to be region free. That's the latest announcement that's coming out from Sony. Don't even worry about it. Region free everywhere. You got all of that, but you can't take PS5 games from your PS5 and even store them on an external storage, let alone run them. We knew that you wouldn't be able to run them because of the high-speed SSD. Really, you can't even get a consumer SSD on the market to match what's happening with what Sony's doing with their SSDs. But the fact that you can't even store them is a little bizarre. They're saying that they're working on it and they might come up with a new update. And speaking of update, this is the weirdest twist in the PS5 story that I wasn't really expecting. You can remote play games from your PS5 to the PS4. However, because the DS4 doesn't work with PS5 native games, and the fact that the DualSense doesn't work natively on the PS4, you won't be able to stream PS5 games to your PS4. You could stream PS4 games on your PS5 to your PS4, which why would you do that? Because you could just play the PS4 games from the beginning. But what you can't play from the beginning right now is The Medium, which is actually a game I was kind of excited for. That's coming out on Xbox and PC. It got delayed until January 28th. Slight disappointment, but also not really necessarily a big deal. I don't think this was the game that everybody was expecting to take the world by storm. It just looks like a really intriguing dual render scenario that I'm interested in seeing play out. Speaking of seeing how things play out, Sony wants to see how their drone business is going to play out. Sony really good at making camera sensors. They're found in all sorts of smartphones. This video of Hot News is being recorded on a Sony camera, and it turns out that they want to get into the drone business with them launching Airpeak, which likely will go toe-to-toe with DJI. They're saying that it's going to support the creativity of video creators to the fullest extent possible. We'll see what that legitimately means, but having Sony's autofocus, honestly, it's the autofocus and low light performance of the Sony cameras that make it really good. If we could see that on a drone, magnifique. Speaking of other things that go in the air, China launching the world's first 6G satellite into space to test 6G. They're saying that even though 5G is 10 times the speed of 4G, we're going to get 100 times that for 6G, which essentially just sounds like this is Starlink internet is the general idea with super high bandwidth. Curious to see how this pans out, but considering the fact that 5G just got real with the iPhone 12 announcement, we're probably a long way off for this to be a consumer related product. But that's not where we are when it comes to fake burgers, because McDonald's announced its own plant-based burger known as the McPlant. You're going to be able to try plant-based products including burgers, chicken substitutes, and breakfast sandwiches sometime next year, which did not hold well for the big kind of plant-based burger company Beyond Meat. As you can see here, their stock, as soon as this got announced, dropped 4% and likely is going to drop more after closing, which is just not good. Oof. Rough stuff, Beyond Meat. You should have thought about that before you got into the burger game and partnered with, who was it? They partnered with Burger King? Yeah. Burger King's definitely second tier. Ugh. Sorry. Anyways, that's going to be the end of this episode of Hot News. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Get subscribed to stay up to date on all of our tech related content. Don't forget about today's video sponsor, Blinkist. Blinkist.com/UFD tech. Try it free for 7 days. Read some books you know you wanna, and 25% off the full membership if you decide to convert. Check it out. Bye. And that's it. Let me know if you're enjoying your Xbox Series S or Series X down below in the comments. Since today is the release day, I am potentially going to try to pick one up. I did not pre-order one. We'll see how that goes. And I won't see you right now because this episode's over. Bye.